Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's the Gamer Not a Gangster Grayson, and you're back with another video. This time, it's technically a reaction, but not really a reaction. I'm going to be talking about some things, mainly tier lists, and why, honestly speaking, I feel like is detrimental um, if you do it too much. You know, like every once in a while is cool. I'll give examples of a decent tier list that was done. I can't, like, show it on the screen because I don't think it's, like, it'll be hard to find in general because that was like 2 years ago. Uh, I don't know if the chat is gonna show in the YouTube. I don't know if I could do that yet, but if I can, I will, bro. He said Carter Sauce is in the chat right now. I appreciate him real for even hopping in. He said Grayson isn't really Nightwing. Yeah, I'm not. I'm too fat, but I can't fit that shit. All I got is a hat, a jacket, a tattoo, and a lot of things. Damn, I have a lot of Nightwing shit. But duh. But what's up, Antonio? But yeah, right. So I'm streaming at the same time, guys. So just letting you know. I explained basically. I'm gonna put a short version of it. Tier list to me, if you do it too much, becomes detrimental to the entire community of whatever community you're in, because you're constantly comparing your peers together. Not only that, for me personally, tier lists don't like how can I say it? They don't rightfully like most tier lists I've seen. The only tier list I can honestly say, and like I don't want to bring no static to him on any aspect. Like if anyone has any feelings towards him, I don't want no static on him. It's just facts. Is when Versus did his tier list, because I literally was there, got off, and came back. This man like worked at least 6 to 7 hours on this type of tier list. So not only him but other people that was in the server, people that are on this list too, were, oh, this guy's good, this song is good. Hey, the criteria, like if you go and ask him, he can give you an actual criteria of what the tier list is. Because when you make a tier list or make a rating system of top 50 or whatever, there's criteria. Another good example is Mega Ran's top 50 list. I'm gonna read that comment real quick. Another good criteria of a top 50 list that was happening was, it was like right after, I think it was Complex who dropped the top 50 rappers list, right? And then Mega Ran made a list for the top 50 nerdcore hip hop artists, right? And there's a lot of people that were mad. Me, I was like 49. I'm happy with it because I stand for Mega Ran. No pun intended. But that's my guy. So I was happy just to be in the list and be known. You know what I mean? Even though he knew me, you know what I mean? It's still like what you think about my skill and what I've done currently at the time. To be in a list in general is nice. Um, but of course, he did that once, and he never did it again. He didn't put his opinion out on who he thinks is dope. He just works with who he thinks is dope, or whoever might pay his feature price, etc. And even then, you still gotta be a certain caliber of good to even be worked with. Um, so Carter Sauce on in the chat said opinions also change as well as artist product changes. Any tier list someone makes isn't going to be permanent too. That is actually fact, which is why it's also really bad that tier lists keep happening as frequently as it does. Even though it's not by the same person, it happens within the same community. This is why it's bad, right? Because I'm gonna put a good example. Now, I want to put this disclaimer out there, not only for Sky Limits or anyone else, even though you're gonna think what you're gonna think. I don't really care what a lot of other people think about my music ability and what I do. I know what I need to work on, and I'm already currently working on those things personally. Obviously, with this going on too, obviously I'm working on a production level as well as, like, I need to work with mixing. I think that's like the biggest L I have sometimes with my songs. My songs mixing isn't really that great, and that's because I don't know how to mix. I give it to other people. But of course, sometimes the mix don't hit as well as it should be. Recently, it's been hitting. To me, it's been hitting. I don't really get reactions on my shit like that unless it's like a big song or whatever. And now, recently, the last few reactions that had me on it, um, there wasn't any notice or saying about mixing. So I think that's all going up. It just I just got to get better with it. Rapping wise, bar wise, song creative wise, nah, I'm nice. I'm nice. Um, if I were to put myself on a tier list and be completely honest, I think I'm a B and an A. But that's because I don't do certain things like other artists do. Not because I'm set in my ways. It's just because I'm still learning and I'm still learning. I've been in it for 8 years, but I'm still doing what I'm doing to be a better artist. And the ideas come organically in my head. So there are songs that I've already made that push my comfort zone, but they're not gonna be the YouTube Nerdcore songs that you're used to. Which is the other reason why the community tier list is trash when it happens too much, because of the fact being that I don't know. I wish God Limits was in the chat. I don't know if this tier list is based off of, did you listen to everyone's albums? Like, you don't have to me, I've been dropping music for 8 years, so it's crazy to you to listen to 8 years worth of content. I have like 13 projects. 3 of them are trash, but 12 are really good. Because the first 3 is like, meh, you know what I mean? Like, the first 2 is garbage, but the third one is like, meh. But that's because it's development. But the rest of them are great, you know what I mean? And I can't expect people to listen to that much content just to judge me on a quick ass tier list. But at the same time, I'm only can speak on me, or I can speak on anyone else. Did you listen to everybody? Like, really? Did you go through their YouTube? Because everyone is kind of cliquish. People listen to other people that they homies and shit. They don't really listen. Like if you look in the bottom of the list, and this how this is my judgment on it, to be 100 with you. The bottom, if you can't read it, it says, never heard of. Now I'm directly on it. So, y'all can see me on camera or whatever. I don't know who the first person is, because I don't recognize that avatar. The second one is Valentine. Third one is Nikki Trax. Fourth one I'm not sure, but I would like to know. Fifth one's Jamar Rose. Sixth one I don't know. Seventh one is Macro. I think that's Aiden next to him. Peso Pete is next to Aiden. Jacob Cash. Suyo. I don't know the one after Suyo. I don't know the one on the bottom. Like, I don't know the bottom two. The third one I think is JK. Then there's versus soundtracks. It says Blue Pyro, so I'm assuming that's his name, but I don't know who that is. There's a Fox. I don't know who that is. The rest of them I don't know who it is until I think it's 954 Mari. I think I said his name right? This is me. So let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Alright, there. You have 21. Let me look. Blue Pyro used to go by King Dan. Oh, okay. I always heard of King Dan. I never heard his music. But if he goes by Blue Pyro, then that's cool. The first guy is Random Pigeon. That's a hell of a name. Blue Pyro I think it's King Dan who changed his name, but don't take my word on that. Well, you and Carter Sauce kind of said the same thing, so I'm going to go with it. But, you know what I mean? Like I'm saying, you got 21 artists in a never heard of section. In the back of my head is opinions are opinions, right? You're in Nerdcore. If I go through a whole list of the people that you pick, because it's like you are missing a lot of people, most of them would have been on a D section or whatever, so understandable. Actually, I think I got it confused. Macros and C, the person here before Aiden, I don't know. I know who that is. I just can't remember the name right now. And the first comment, I want to read the comment that Sky said. I'd also say I'm an A-lit tier. I've got sounds, vibes, just really need to work on bars and flow. Solid ideas, but poor lyrics. Make my stuff fall flat. Always improving, though. Right? I'm going to leave that one alone real quick. If I count the S tier, Schwabity Holla, Ham Sandwich, Chris, Cam, Divide, and Fable. That's 7 people. 7. I don't know who that first person in A is. It says MB, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. Then it's Diggs. Diggs, Zach, Shara, Shoudo, Priest, Twisted Savi, Knights of Breath, Chi Chi, Breton, Conquest, Rustage, DPS, Cellular Love, and Game Boy. That's an A. B is Politicus. I think that's McGuire. I don't know who this person is with the red hair. Aerial Ace, JT Music, I'm assuming. Or is that the representative? I think it's JT Music. I think that's JT Music. Afro Legacy, Mark Cooper, Dizzy 8. In B. In B. In C, Carter Sauce, KNB Crollo, or Trollo. I think it's Crollo. Nerd Out. Nerd Out is in C. Nerd Out is in C. Volcar. I don't know who's this avatar. It's a black Ash Ketchum, basically. I think that's Macro. Just by the way the art is, it's similar to the other person. Is that Rebel? That might be Rebel. Rap Night, J Music, Jixplosion, and myself in C. And we already went over the people I never heard of. Right? Mirror is the MB. Oh, Mirror changed his shit. Alright, cool. So that might be Mirror Blackwell. Mirror Blackwell's an A. Alright. I got something coming out with him soon anyway. Right? So let's go to the comments of what it's gonna be. It might be a long video, but not too long. I'm not gonna make it too long. Nerdcore is big. If someone has time to listen to every single person, then they gotta have a lot of time. That's facts, right? Right? I'm not talking about listening to people's music in that one time as you're doing the tier list. I'm talking about, like, me personally, I've listened to almost every person on this list, at least the people that I know. I've listened to more than 5 tracks of Schwabity. I've listened to at least 3 tracks or more from Holla. I've listened to enough that I can get a good gauge of what they do and how diverse they are. The only people I can say, honestly, I didn't listen to crazy is JT Music. Nerd Out I heard through passing. So it's like literally, Nerd Out being in C is high-key disrespectful to me, but they ain't gonna give a fuck. They're not gonna give a fuck. I know most of these. Mirror Blackwell's MB, Mirror Blackwell, boom. My dude, I think so. Red hair, I think it's Phantom. Okay, I don't know who Phantom is. Nerd Out in C had me like, what the hell? Exactly. Nerd Out in C, right? So me, it's like, and this is where, when we're looking at it, we're like, what the fuck and all this shit. You know why people be like, what the fuck, and why tier lists are bad too? The tier lists are not, like, when tier lists happened, like when it came from Complex is a media source talking about artists. Artists go to the Complex to do interviews and other shit, get sponsored, right? These tier lists that's been happening in the Nerdcore YouTube community are from our peers. Now, what stature you think we're on, like, if I made a tier list, people are going to look at it in some type of way because the integrity of it is not going to be there. No one's going to believe the integrity is 100%. Why? Because that's your peers. The only ones most of y'all will accept it from is from the people that y'all put in S. So, like, Schwabity, Connor, Rustage, DPS, Fable, even Dizzy. And Dizzy might even get some slack if he gets a tier list. And they already put their opinion in the aspect of that they don't give a shit. They look at who they look at and they do what they do, and that's it. And the reason why they do that is because in the end of the day, it don't matter. You shouldn't really be looking at your peers as in competition so damn much. You should be looking at them as inspiration to make new things. I can honestly say I've heard a lot of Dizzy 8 songs that put me in a perspective of, yo, maybe I should try this out. I've listened to verses enough like, yo, maybe I should try this out. You know, I listened to Politicus, DPS, Fable. Yo, let me try this out. Yo, let me work with this artist. Let me see what they can do. Cellular Love, same thing. Game Boy Jones, same thing. Yo, let me try this out. Let alone the fact that Mix ain't even in here. Mix Williams ain't in here. You have people that are not in here that have featured with Rustage, right? And that's not like the end all be all of the YouTube community, but let's keep it 100. None of y'all was talking to me until I featured with Rustage, NOJ, and Game Boy within a matter of months. Just keep it a stack. Not trying to be rude, just saying. That's how some of y'all be like finding out about artists, because let's keep it a stack. A lot of y'all don't be researching nobody, because if we're really going to talk about the entirety of nerdcore, this shit needs a D and an E just to fit everybody. And when it comes to Sky, more than likely, he's gonna have a lot more I've never heard of. Like you don't have Mega Ran on the list. You don't have Mega Ran on the list. You don't have Kadesh Flow on the list. You don't have Richie Branson on the list because you're doing nerdcore. Maybe you're doing of the recent nerdcore people. Cool, Kadesh should be on the list because he's been dropping songs like every few weeks. It's only recently that he chilled out, and that's because he was doing a VPC, which is a vocal producer challenge, which is a nerdcore competition on YouTube, not YouTube, on Facebook, from the old side of nerdcore. But y'all don't got them there. You don't got for God's sake, you don't have Okumura, and they've been dropping every 2 weeks, if every week. They just don't make the videos like we do. They do a little GIF and then they put the lyrics on it. But shit, who just did that? Someone just did that. Diggs just did that. And really, Diggs had to do that so that he don't get copyright strike, because he was doing it off of a movie that everyone else is getting copyright strikes. But in reality, y'all don't need videos to listen to something dope. You know what I mean? Sometimes you need a gift because the importance is of the song. Because I can have an amazing video about Demon Slayer, but if I'm talking about Goku and the shit, you're gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like that. But that's my opinion on that one. But really, TierList is just trash and is old because of the fact being that, like, all of us, I assume, will not give a fuck. Me making this stream and talk about this video honestly because I want to speak on it and say, I'm gonna title it The Problem with TierList, honestly, in nerdcore. I'm gonna just put parentheses nerdcore and shit because of the fact being that, let me go back to his comment, his first comment. I'd also say I'm A tier. I've got sounds and vibes, just really need to work on bars and flow. Solid ideas, but poor lyrics. Make my stuff fall flat. Always improving though. It's cool to always improve, but you're not an A if you saying that you need to. If you saying you need to improve and you saying bars and flow is your issue, if your flow is wrong, then you're C. That's how I feel. You're, especially if C is the last letter before never heard of. Nah, you're on the bottom tier if you don't even have your flow. Bars is because if your vibe is right, because like let's say like McGuire is singing, I ain't gonna look for him for bars. I'm looking at him for his melody and what he's doing and what the vibe is. I understand Sky probably does the same shit, but flow, you need flow. This ain't no fucking G Herbo type shit. You need flow. So when you put that in any rap conversation, in any music conversation, in my full opinion, your flow needs to be right to even put yourself up there. Not only that, you have a whole B tier list that only has 8 people. Your S tier list can be short because that's S, but B, you have 8 people, but you have 21 people that you never heard of, but you found their links. Not their links, but their avatars are put there. Like Jamar needs to be in B, Dizzy needs to be in S, DPS needs to be an S, and of course this is all my opinions. But at the same time, it's like, you gotta see what the hell they've been doing recently. You have Rustage in A and DPS in A, but you don't have them in S. But both of those men are people that if they featured you on their song, you jumping at the chance and shit. What's good, Diggs? You know what I mean? It's like I wanna also say this again, bro. I talk passionately on a normal basis. My level of care, though, is at like a 6. I don't have nothing to do right now. I did all my features. I did all the songs I'm supposed to do. I'm ahead. My kids and my girl are out. I had time. This weekend. I feel better. Wisdom Tooth kind of still a bitch, but hey, you know what I mean? But legitly, like, I wanted to speak on this because, like, TierList, just like other shit that happens in the community. You know what I mean? What did Antonio say? He probably found an already made tier list, so it don't mean he found those pictures of Jamar and shit. So there ain't no blame to Sky on that, I think. It really got to go up to Sky on that shit, because maybe, yeah, he probably found a tier list with people's avatars in it and shit. But, again, If you're gonna make a tier list, like, yo, all right, you probably with your homies, let's make a tier list. Let's have some fun and shit. And it's like, all right, cool. But I know Sky's been here long enough that he should like know. You know what I mean? Carter Sauce, what do you think? I think when Sky says flow, he means flow in terms of when he raps, not necessarily singing. Since he's more of a singer than a rapper, at least that's how I read it. That's probably true because I know Sky sings. But if you're also rapping in your music, that also counts because Dizzy can sing, he can flow in singing, and he can rap. But he's in B. Sky put himself in A and said, "I gotta work on my flow because my lyrics makes the song fall flat. A's don't have any flat songs. I'm gonna put that down. I say I'm B because I understand there's probably some songs that fall flat because of the fact being that everyone doesn't like them because it's subjective, and my style of rapping doesn't hit everybody. You know what I mean? I could do a pop track, but I'm not a singer. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. I sing sometimes here and there. You'll be surprised as fuck. I'll be surprised as hell. But I wouldn't put myself above. I'm not putting myself above people that consistently drop heat every week or every other week. And that's the thing too, why these tier lists is very detrimental. Because yes, it's your peers. At the same time, it's like, how much production and shit do they put out as well? You know what I mean? Because even if you're going in a recent sense, me, I drop every 2 weeks. I drop every 2 weeks so I can make and be ahead of music so I can get all the other production side done. But if you look at an artist like DPS who mixes, masters, raps, and only thing he doesn't do is get the video done, and that's all. He's an A. Schwabity does the same thing. Mix, master, raps, sings, all that. Yeah. Feel you. You know what I mean? And then that's like Fable, same thing. So it's like, well, you got to put that into context when you're doing a tier list. And of course, you're just doing it for fun. You're not really thinking about it. But like I said, Sky has been here long enough that he knows how these go. He should know. These lists are who you like the most, but motherfuckers don't say it. That's the other part. Well, I said that earlier, Diggs, but basically, the integrity coming from a peer instead of a actual media thing. Like, for instance, like, what if, like, Kohaku knew about us? Because we do anime rap. Let's keep it a stack. Like, it's nerdcore, but it's anime rap. Most of us talk about anime most of the time. The dudes from Otaku Underworld, like Gods and Galax, does comic book shit. Dizzy, Carter, myself, we do comic book shit. You know what I mean? Bro, son, like, I just yo, son, Baker's not even on the list. You don't even have Baker on the list. But Baker just dropped the Resident Evil cipher. At the end of the day, it all comes back down to opinion. Yes, it's opinion. You can have two artists be objectively amazing, but you may not enjoy one as much as the other. That's true. And your opinions are always valid. But he put it out like that. Sometimes you can keep your opinion to yourself. Like, again, I don't really care like that. I'm just saying of the reactions of what people are doing, because now we already used to it. So like, yo, can we not do the tier list thing again? Because everyone got their pains in a bunch last time this shit happened. Everyone got mad and aggravated, and little shit happened in the background. I'll be the one to say, like, I seen so much shit. I'll tell you a little story, actually. The first tier list I seen was Breton's, right? And it was like when he was making it. I woke up, a homie called me, said, yo, they put you in C. They looked at 2 of your songs, and they were laughing at the song you did with Kadesh. And the song I'm talking about is Storm the Gates, which made me crack up because it was like, hey, yo, son, like, what you mean? What do you mean laughing? Because I take my music seriously. You see this in my basement? This is my mic here. You know what I'm saying? I got all my shit. I brought it myself. I've been working too hard. So I don't want no one laughing at my shit. My shit is not that bad to be laughing at it. My shit ain't bad, period, to be honest with you. There's things that probably need to be worked on, or things, little nitpicky things that can make it better or make it more appealing. And that's only to a certain audience, of course. Because if you go to an age demographic, like when you look at my age demographics on my stats, my shit goes to a certain age of people anyway because of the way I rap and how I rap about things and what I talk about in content. Even if it's just anime rap, it's still in those things. I'm still one of the only people that did a cipher for Saint Seiya because it's such an old ass anime. One of the only other artists who's on the cipher with me is Diggs, I could believe, that could do it, and Otaku God. A lot of other people don't know about animes like that. Those are the two I could say off top. They know way more about anime in the history span of anime. They know more about old shit than I do, and they can rap about it. Same thing with Gundam Wing. Gundam Wing is one of the most popular anime of all time. To the point that in Japan, Gundam was the biggest anime. That they made cafes. They have a whole goddamn statue in Japan and shit. And I was one of the first people to do a Gundam Wing cipher. But that's because age. I'm 30. I understand everyone does the old shit and it's whatever. But that's what I'm saying too. It's like when it comes to anime rap and you're because this is critiquing. This low key critiquing. That's why Diggs say, what he say? Actually, I said Diggs say, he just said something else. I get disappointed with the weebs here every day because they haven't seen a lot of anime. Facts. Because I seen, back when I was 18, I've seen more anime than what weebs or otakus seen now. Like, I'm from the era of, I watched the whole Yu Yu Hakusho show again because I didn't remember everything on a whole summer on YouTube where it was episode this, part 1/3, episode this, part 2/3, part 3/3, and watch the entire thing on YouTube. I'm from the era of, I didn't know what site to go on to watch Shippuden when it was out originally. So I had to go online and watch that shit. Part 1, part 2, part 3. Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Carter says like, that's me. I didn't start getting into anime until like late 2019. You know what, Carter? But it's cool that you at least admit that because you don't, I don't see you making critiques or in any aspect of whatever shit. You know what I mean? Carter Sauce, like, I grew up like a comic book fan and Star Wars kid. I could tell. Because you've made, I seen you make more comic book, like you can make anime shit, you know what I mean, but like comic book wise, I see like you're one of the comic book people that do that, and that makes me happy because I feel like there needs to be more of those anyway. Because to be honest with you, even though anime is more frequent, a lot of comic book stuff hits a lot harder, not harder, but like popular wise. Like Shang-Chi comes out, I'm not gonna make it. I don't know about Shang-Chi like that. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna try to even attempt to make a song about Shang-Chi, but someone better have one out because that shit be getting promoted like motherfucker. But yeah, it's like honestly speaking, this shit it's dumb, yo. Like Diggs, I grew up in non-PC age where there was no such thing. There was no way I should be the anime watch god over motherfuckers who grew up in the digital age. That's facts. Like back in Brooklyn when I was living in Brooklyn, the first time I watched Dragon Ball Z was on the VHS, and that was the 13th movie. That was before Dragon Ball even hit American television. So I knew about Gohan, Vegeta, Goku before it was even in America. And that's back like before Toonami was a thing, when it was on WB first. You know what I'm saying? And then it went to Toonami. You know what I'm saying? Like we're from that era, and y'all got the entire internet, and y'all got more time. Because let's just keep it a stack. I'm gonna have to stop the YouTube part, but I'm gonna get this last point because I'm not talking about the tier list that much anymore. I'm just gonna have it on the side for people to see when they hop in. But hey, yo, bruh, y'all just went through COVID. A lot of y'all was home this entire time. Like, I seen a lot of cats get into One Piece finally because they had the time to do it, and they realized, like Diggs and myself and everybody that watches anime like that was saying, yo, One Piece is goated. One Piece is my favorite anime. One Piece is, to me, the best anime overall on things. There's something other anime that does better, but like to me, One Piece it hits all bases on a good amount on average. That shit's one of the best, if not the best. Diggs was like, bro, I had to get VHS DVDs made just to watch anime. There was no Crunchyroll. Yeah, what the fuck was Crunchyroll, dog? Like, you know what I mean? Like, for real. Like, we didn't have Crunchyroll. We didn't have nothing. We didn't have Funimation streaming services, yo. Funimation was just giving it to Cartoon Network. All we had was Cartoon Network, and we only had from 5 to 7. And that depends on actually it would be the same on the time zones and shit. But I'm gonna stop this YouTube part. cause I kind of derailed from the original topic. I finished the original topic. It's already like a half hour. Yep, it's a half hour. So enjoy this one if you watch it. If you don't, then oh well. You know what I mean. I wanted to talk about it, but just as not summary of what I'm talking about. Tier list is not exactly a bad thing. Doing a tier list every few months is a stupid thing, even if it's from a bunch of different people, because one, it's not it's not really coming off of you giving everybody that's in the tier list the same amount of time that you're listening to them. You're just putting who you like, honestly. Like I don't even know a minimum number of songs you should hear from people or features even, but like no. Since you're a peer and you're also a person that's also an artist that would be on a tier list, no, because then people will look at him like, nigga, I do better than him musically. Like, oh, okay, he sings. All right, whatever. I make better songs than him. Singing or rapping is like, yo, you can make a better song and shit like that. I should title. I'm a title like that. I'm a title this video like that. But the last point is that artists should be worrying about themselves the majority of the time and improving. Like how Sky said, oh, I'm improving on my flow and my lyrics. Then you have enough time to make a tier list. You have enough time to work on your flow and your lyrics. Hey, matter of fact, Sky, you came in at the last time. All right, stay right here. We can chat. You know what I mean? But YouTube, I'm gonna be out. It's a game night against the Grayson, and I'm out. Slash.